Hello everyone, so this is the first GA game in over 20 years, which is hard to believe. The first one was on the PS2 and it was an awesome game back in the day. Now, with this game I'm kind of mixed. As you can see here, there's many different things compared to back in the PS2 days. And of course things have changed in the last 20 years. But it's great to see, first of all, that there is a game, GA game, because there's not that many games based in Ireland, and participate in Ireland, do in Ireland. But it'll show you there's a lot of things I could say. But it is really cool, like this screen. It is really cool in general too. But the other thing I criticize, we just set up a game here. Just one big criticism I have here, because originally I did think, and that was to do with the stadiums and stuff. This is one big criticism I have. I do think Croke Park and other parks should be in there. Didn't license it. With the OG games, there was parks. Like these parks don't exist and stuff. I wish it was like actual parks, like take for example your Cavan. You'll be playing at Breffney Park, etc. I think it's a bit upset that you can't have that. And of course, the AI, I will say, this is just off the top of my head. This is nobody any structure to this. But the AI is a bit bugged. Now, they have done their best to fix it. They've fixed it many, many times over. And in fairness, it's got a small bit better. But still isn't great. And the UI, too, isn't great, like in terms of the players. The other thing I would say is it's quite good, these tournaments and stuff, like to make up tournaments and or cups, etc. Even though it wouldn't be my cup of tea, in terms of that, and a banana at half time. But, it still is it's a good thing. I suppose adds replayability to the game too. But as I say, the music too is pretty banger too in the background. I wish there was a bit more music. But you have career too, and you can make your own character, start your own career, etc., which is pretty cool. I messed around a bit with this. I didn't mess much with it, because I never was I'm more like your first person game, etc. But I did play a lot of this game. I played about 7 hours, maybe 8 hours of it. And for only about €30, it's a steal, to be totally honest, if you want to buy it. And of course you have practice and stuff. But the one thing I think the game really shines at is your character creator. Because it gives you so many options. Like, look at all these options for everything. And then when you click on photo, say here, you can actually go back. Like look at here, like you can really just mess with the person. Like you make really awful stuff here. like God forbid, you should see some of the characters I made, but you can really just mess with everything. Like it's insane. And you can mess with the body type, etc. It's just insane. Like you can mess with all of it. Like it's quite a lot of detail. Like you can see this. Like my God, but yeah, it's really good. There's a lot of detail put into that. We won't save that abomination. But yeah, there's a lot of good in this game. Now, I still do think they shouldn't have released it yet. I do think they should have left it for a few more months. I think they should have polished it a bit better, especially the UI. The UI is not great in terms of like playing the game and stuff. As you can see here, like the camera is, I don't know if we can change this, but the camera is quite far away from the screen to the other thing I said. This is just the practice thing. But it is a long way away. And a few other people have said that it is a good bit away from the screen, compared to maybe your only football games and stuff. But as you can see, the AI itself is kind of a bit parked. You can see the goalkeeper here. That it is kind of a bit parked, and it is a bit slow when it comes to stuff. But the kicking and stuff is good. Like the kicking is a bit inconsistent. I will say that. And especially when you're passing it to, like in the games, passing it to people, it is quite hard to pass it. Because it kind of bugs out a small bit. Like what I've observed in my like gameplay and stuff. Like this is just kind of rambling about this, but I do think it's needed a few more months in the oven before it's released. But I do think for 30 euro you can't really argue with that, because I thought it would have been 70 euro when I first got it. But yeah, though it is a quite good game, as I say. The other critique I would give is, and I've seen a few people say this, why is New York and London in Connacht? It kind of should be on their own instead of added into Connacht. I know it's a small critique, but yeah, there's a huge amount of things. And of course, the other critique when it comes to the counties is Leitrim doesn't exist. So how can Leitrim be a team? Of course, it's only 2 stars, but how many stars does Cavan have? Just running me up. because obviously Cavan, yeah, see that, look at that, Cavan far better. We're playing at Leitrim, that can't do. But yeah, I am a bit disappointed, I suppose, in the game in terms, as I said, with the stadiums. That's the one thing I was looking forward to playing in Breffley Park, or playing in Croke Park and stuff. But there's none of that, unfortunately. But I do think that the team done very well in making this game. And as I say, it's the fourth time in 20 years, and we should have more games based in Ireland, or even participating in Ireland, because it's very, very rare. We don't have many games. But it's a good thing, and hopefully there'll be more to come in the future. But I do think it should have been left for another at least 6 months to get in production, because as you see with the characters and stuff, that the characters look a bit funny. A lot of people have said this too, that the characters do look a bit weird. It's just to do with the UI, etc. But it wouldn't be my cup of tea either. But it's not the worst thing. I've seen worse. But I get that. I understand that. But yeah, so do let me know. As I say, this is only a quick review. I could go into more detail on different things. But I just kind of wanted to give you my basic opinion on, because to be totally honest, I do have a bit to say about it, but not overly too much. Because I'm not the biggest GA fan. I'm not the biggest Gaelic fan. I don't mind that. I played a bit of it, as I said, but I rather first-person games and stuff. So it's very unusual for me to do a few of these kind of games. But yeah, do let me know what you think. Do you like this? Do you like it? Did you have a deal about buying it? Let me know. What would you rate it? But I would rate it altogether. I would rate it 7 out of 10. Not perfect, but still good enough. What I'm trying to say. I still have fun doing it. It was often tense matches. So yeah, about 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5. Near enough 8, which is quite high, but that's what I would say. Now, I've seen a lot of people online would have only said. I think a lot of people only said around 6, or so 6 stars. But again, I suppose it's up to personal preference too. But that's what I would give it. But if the game had another few months in development, I say I would have given it an easy 9. To be totally honest. It's just a few issues that's holding the game back a bit. And of course, they were updating the game and stuff. And hopefully they'll fix the rest of the stuff they have issues with. But, they are a small team of developers. I'm not going to beat them up over it, because I couldn't make this game. But yeah, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more, and bye.